A size 10, I promise, will fit on a size 20 for a ball gown or an A-line. You just got to know how to properly clamp and panel, and then your owners and managers will love you that you're not complaining, I need this in different sizes. I promise they will work. There is a dress in here. She is a fitted gown. Her name is Cody here because we name all of our girls. She is a fitted size 10. We fit her on a size 22 every single day. Yes, she has a lot of love on her, but she zips, she does all the good things. Now, she's a stretchy crepe, but still, play in your gowns to go, okay, this is a size 10. I know I'm a size like 14, but this fits on me, and that opens up then avenues for all of your other stylists. So play. Make sure, though, before you try to squeeze somebody in a gown, please have the connection already there. And please already make sure that you put gowns on her that she actually has already fit. So the connection, that's the biggest. If we're going to try, we got to make sure connection is first. And then it becomes slightly a game. A little bit like, all right, girl, this one's really tricky. This can barely fit on my left leg, but it's kind of the same size as X, Y, and Z. What's your thought? I think we can do it. Are you down? And like now it's a two-way street. It's a game, not just like, we're going to try this. Oh no, I'm sorry, it doesn't fit. And here we go. And then we're like spiraling out of control. All right, first fitted gown we are going to do. So funny. All right. This is Abby. She's one of our stylists, and I don't know. So she just graduated from high school, and we're so proud of her. She's one of our master stylists here. Yes. She's amazing. She's one to grab. She can regurgitate. If we're like, Abby, go say this, and then this is, she will literally verbatim. She's like, woosa, got it, and go. She's also like our inventory master. If you're like, Abby, what was that gown again? She will be able to rattle off names and go through all of it. She's pretty amazing, absolutely. So when we are going for fitted gowns, it is very important. So a lot of times everyone's gonna come and we're gonna shimmy and we're gonna jump around and do all of those things. It is going to, if she pulls up from the sides, it is going to stop right up underneath her rear end, because when you pull up here, it gets narrow. It turns into this way as the crowd. It turns this way if she only pulls up from the sides. If she pulls up from the cups, you help her then with the zipper. It turns into a circle. It opens it up and it'll go right over top of her rear end. So this is where it's getting stuck. Obviously, we can tell the zipper is about to scream and break, and we're just like going down. So with this, she is going to pull then from the cups. Make sure this dress has illusion specifically, so make sure she's pulling from the actual cup. We're not pulling from the straps or the illusion. So actually go to the dress. That is solid. I'm gonna pull from here. I'm gonna slightly open, and then it literally slides right on her. That way. So this dress specifically, so as she's pulling through the front and everything there, with her, I would put arms in. Oh. This is a bliss gown, by the way. It's really, really pretty. We tried it on this morning. I was like, okay, I love this. So here. So with it, it's now, because I had her shimmy up, it is sitting slightly high kind of everywhere, and I want her, pull her back down. Make sure she's nice and then flat in the front. Now it's gonna allow you, like with my own hands, I can just go for it. She can always have your bride help you. So hands on hips, push back towards, and I'll show you guys better in a ball gown, but like for this one specifically, you just end up doing it. This is a bridal 6, she's a bridal 10. Yes, it will go on, we promise. Now, she's gonna like waddle around and always preface like, okay, through sizing, we get to control all of this, but the fact that she can get it on, that's a glory day. That is amazing. So this actually, it fits her very well, even through the straps. Like it just is really nice. Isn't it a pretty gown? Isn't this a great gown? I know.
Every second it just gets better.
I know, and it's like, oh. So with this one specifically, I know straps always come really long. We always have to clamp. This one, because it fits her pretty well, still, I mean, I would still do a smidgen. With straps, because this is beautiful illusion, we don't want to rip it. We never clamp on the illusion, as much as tempting as it is. Always clamp on the lace. It is rare that a dress, honestly, has illusion with no lace. Yes, there is that clean with the illusion situation, and I can show you guys actually on another gown how to do that. But with this one specifically, I'm gonna pull slightly, I'm gonna make sure that her cups are in the correct spot. I'm gonna slightly pull up and back down so it's flat across here. I'm also going to pull from the side and pull up to here. So I want to make sure that this fits her flat here. If I only go here, it's still gonna bulge out of the sides. So I wanna make sure, so if I come down first and then I pull up. Does that make sense? Thank you. Magic. And then you are right on, then it's right on the lace. Now I have it controlled from both sides. I know it fits her really nicely, so it just, so it's pull slightly down first, grab from the side, and then pull up. There you go. You are so nice about that. And I just clamped her skin because it's going to happen and it's okay. And they will normally warn you very nicely. I'm that person, when they clamp me, I'm like, oh God, it's my skin. And it will happen. So when there is a really pretty back, like this one has a nice back, and if it was really big on her, I would, if we are loving this gown, only if we are loving, then I'm going to show off the back by clamping then in the front. It's only, if you open up that can of worms on the very first gown or whatever, every single dress, they're gonna be like, clamp from the front. And you're like, she hates it, but why are we clamping from the front? So make sure you kind of only open, keep it a little bit in your back pocket, because you want to utilize, again, like elimination is your bride's best friend. So then we have all the time in the world to allow her to go into her favorites at the end. That's the biggest thing. Let's get through to find our favorites. Now we slow the appointment down and really get into the feels. So and then the faster we can learn to do this and you guys feel better at it, the easier. It should take you about less than a minute to change your girl in the room.
Do y'all clamp out here since you don't have?
We don't. We clamp, yep, everything. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Because I'm assuming everyone has mirrors in their dressing rooms. When you guys are clamping in your dressing rooms, obviously you're utilizing your mirror, so rotate. Please only still be talking about fiance, wedding. She's gonna try to go into this and just be like, yeah, girl, I got you, no worries. So talk to me like, are you still, just divert. Because the more we talk about the dress in there, then we come out here, we're going garment, 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 garment. Then at the end, we're like, so finding your dress is like finding your person. And we try to talk into feels. Now it doesn't feel real anymore. So if we connect with her in there, we come out, talk to me about how you feel. Again, that is the very first, talk to me how you feel. If she answers with a garment, that's great to be like, oh, okay, so you love this neckline? Yeah, but does it feel bridal? Always get her back into her feels. And then if we just don't feel bridal, then cool, off it goes. I don't even care anything more about the gown. Get it gone. Let's move into something that she feels amazing in. So yeah, clamping with a fitted, pull from the cups like a little bunny rabbit. Make sure it is the cups and it's not the straps, because they will pull in the straps for you. Pull up and pull back down. So that's gonna be on a small girl. Let's go. Yeah. Like here? Yeah. Okay, so maybe we'll go from here. Okay. So yeah, so we're just gonna go into the next, and then I'll make sure that they see all of that. Let's do beacon. Yeah, let's do beacon. So next we're gonna go into ball gowns. So it's always, whether it's a fitted, a strapless, whatever it is, the bride always needs to pretty much help you. If it's going to fit tight, if it's super loosey-goosey and big, then we'll go into that as well. But thumbs pushing back, and then now we're gonna show you guys the importance of hands up underneath armpits, pushing back, the difference that actually makes in gowns. We all know that with gowns, especially strapless, it's gonna sit away. I call it crumb catching. If I gave you guys like a Nature Valley bar, we know we'd be so itchy by the end. So by grabbing up underneath, and you actually have to tell them, like thumbs up underneath armpits. Sometimes they're just like this. You have to, most of the time, place them up underneath and go push back towards me. This will allow the bodice to lay really flat on her, then will allow you to zip and do all of the good things. So we'll see both different ways on how that lays on her if I was to do it with and to do it without. Come on out. Okay. So again, on the dressing room, if she has, we call them seat belts. If she has seat belts, please do the seat belts. It just allows and really helps you out. If this gown was actually way too small for her, these seat belts are amazing. You can still if she was a size 14, first and foremost, please make sure all of your strapless gowns are pulled up. This is where, if you only allow the bride, she's gonna put it right here and she's gonna come out and her girls are gonna be staring down at the floor. And this is why moms are like, we hate strapless and all the things. The more you're able to make this gown look exactly like it's going to for her alterations, the better, the less you guys have to then fight and argue out here. And this is the only photos that she's going to have of her in this gown is the way you clamp. So if you do a poor job at clamping, for the next 9 months, that's the only thing she looks at, and it adds a lot of insecurity. We've done that by fault. We know that now. So just make sure it's clamped really well. So always make sure strapless. I always pull up into armpits. I'd rather it be too high, then I work my way down than the opposite way. So with her, I'd ask her to put your hands on her hips just so the gown doesn't move for me. You're gonna do the seat belt. Okay. And let your hands go. So if I just ask her, we're just chit-chatting in the dressing room, and I go, I'm now stopped, right to here. It splays open, then rotate towards them. So that is splayed wide open. We're like, I could panel that, whatever. I know for a fact I can even clamp this gown on her. So we know that this is just ill-fitting from this point. So I'm gonna ask her, put your hands on your hips, and then push back towards me. Naturally, now I can get this gown by myself to zip from there. So that was just from her doing that. Now, I'm not gonna tell her to do anything. I don't have any room to clamp or do anything back here. Turn around. It fits nicely. There's still gapping all through here. I know it's hard. She has a sports bra on, so she's not, shocking the world, but she's still like pretty crumb catchy through here. It sits away from her body. If now I go, put your hands up underneath, grab butt underneath your armpits, push back towards me. Now I can go ahead and grab. It goes on. Now I actually have room to clamp her. Thank you. And now she's clamped in it. And then now we don't have any gappage here. There's no gappage in the front. Do you need that again? No. You're just like. Absolutely, yes. All right, so. This is, all right, she's not gonna help me at all. We're to here, we're kind of struggling. The zipper is splayed wide open. It always gets tricky at this aspect. I'm gonna make sure she still sits where it needs to. Hands on your hips, and push back. Perfect. Now that opens up to here. Obviously, that's pretty tight if I don't ask her to do anything. You could tell there was stress on the zipper. Now if I come down to here, hands up underneath the armpits, push back towards me. Now it literally goes right up, and I have all of this now gapping in the back that I'm able now to grab and clamp. Right. I just went from a gown that we're like, you're pretty much the sample, like it's tight, to like, I would be flirting with, do you even go a size down for her? Because now I warn all of my brides, like breathing is optional whenever I clamp you. So in a bride, I would even clamp her waist. Make them look amazing, and then if they're like, all right, that's a little too tight, back it out, it is easier than to back it out. Make them come out looking like $1 million. That is what clamping is for. These gowns are magical, they have a ton of construction. Utilize that and clamp away. So that is going to be ball gowns. We're going to do the big girl. Oh, here, I set you up for failure. Okay.
Was it really, really big? Do you ever clip the seatbelts, like to pull it maybe even more?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
put a little tiny one on the seatbelts.
Yeah. No. Nope. Use a cushion. So some versus clamping. Clamping can hurt the gowns for a little bit of different reasons. Make sure that your clamps always keep these pieces. If they come off, super glue them on. Upon being brand new, a lot of times we will pull these off. We will squirt super glue, Gorilla Glue, pop them back on. Because we all know if you wear them here, they're in your pants and these things come off everywhere. They're on brides' backs, like it's weird. So super glue these bad boys on. When you guys are doing and undoing, don't just yank on them because that will rip the gowns. If you open it, put it on, open it, pull it off, you're not gonna hurt the gowns. Yeah. And your samples, as much as owners hate this as well, they are kind of, they're your working, an owner would rather have you clamp something and sell it than to sit there. And the problem a little bit with the cushion, I love the idea of it, but what happens is when the bride, like, you know brides, they're like, and what does this look like? And what does this look like? When they turn sideways, they are now quadruple their actual size, and it is very hard for them to imagine themselves then in that gown. Even though it is just a cushion, but yes, it is the purpose to then, whatever, I'll just say it. But it protects, you're protecting then, you're putting the garment over top of the bride. You're protecting the garment and you're not making this a lifetime moment for your girl. So with a big gown on her, so always work from the waist up, because if you set your waist, then everything else is easier to follow. If I was to not set her waist right now and I was be like, oh, well, I mean, the straps aren't that big, and I was to go here, her girls are like looking down at the floor, waist is not appropriate where it should be. So make sure, and again, in the mirror, for me, I will just, in the dressing room, you go here, and I just come forward, and then I go right back over. That's without a mirror. So with this, there is illusion. We always want to make sure we clamp the way the gown is going to be supported. So that means with this, if I only clamped down here, she technically, with this gown being appropriate, it's going to come through here as well. So make sure, and I'm going to speed this up a little bit because there's a really cool thing I want to show you guys. So you're going to twist and then down. Did you guys see that? So twist for here. Don't twist as hard. Don't hurt the illusion. But you can fold over. You can twist. Again, I'm only clamping lace on lace. I'm not clamping illusion here. Now her waist is set. Now I have all of this room now back. For sleeves, you're going to pull, like I did for that first one, you're going to pull down first, then up, and then you have this nice little area that is sitting all right there together. So now it lays really nice and flat. Yep, first, thank you. So again, on this side, up. You're going to pull down on one, up on the other, and then you have this nice little cluster. There is still room to go down the middle. So that would be clamping big. Make sure that when you guys are clamping these girls and there are sleeves to it, it's really tricky. Don't clamp illusion. It's going to hurt it, but hold it nice and tight because everyone's going to be like, sleeves are pretty, but they look like a sweatshirt. If they're not, so show them how it's properly supposed to fit. Whether you stand behind them or whatever, go for that way. Questions on that? You guys good? Always up, down, it's twist. It's a little bit easier when it's bigger than definitely a little bit smaller. All right. Yeah, because I'll show clamping, or I'll show paneling on that one too, and then I'll show hands. All right, go for it. We have 5 minutes. We have probably 3 minutes, 4 minutes. 4 minutes, we got this. And I want to show them the cape backwards. It's a really cool thing. We love. And some of you actually may already know it, so it won't be groundbreaking to you, but it's just really fun. It's when someone wants a sleeve or somebody, yeah. With a non-sleeve, I should probably show you guys, but it's fine. With a non-sleeve, if you utilize, like don't let her put her arm in her sleeve, take where the lace comes up, pull that up, take the sleeve, and use that as your strap that comes around. You can show then a sleeve dress with no sleeves. One more time. So make sure her arm doesn't go in the sleeve. Where the lace comes up, use that, and then you like roll in the extra sleeve portion. Use where her arm would go in to pull around her armpit to then connect. She will have little like shoulder pads and her little girl sitting up here, but it's easier then to imagine if she's having a really hard time versus us covering with an arm and going, well, it can come without a sleeve. Just make it happen. It looks bulky a little bit, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. All right. All right, this girl specifically. So paneling, it's gonna sometimes, and it depends on your comfort level, nothing bothers me, so I just go straight for it. The more you hesitate, the more things then add insecurity to her. Yes, I'm weird. I just go straight down, I'm like, yep, and we're best friends now. And that's it. It's all over it. The quickly as you can do it, the better. And then I'm going to utilize her seat belts because that's what it is there for. And I put it always on the tightest. If it can go to the tightest, I'm gonna put it on the tightest. When you're going to panel, we're gonna make sure, we're gonna work from one side, you're gonna pull, and work from the other, and pull around. She doesn't have to push back because I'm actually pulling in that way. And then through here, I would end up, I mean, I can't use hands, but I can just grab it myself. So hands on your hips for me, push back. Yep. And then I can end up getting it up. So make sure that when we panel, go to where the construction is actually going to fit her. If the construction isn't going to fit all the way up here, don't panel. But it wouldn't be fair if I just left her to there, because that is not the construction of this gown. So always make sure you're paneling for the construction to make it feel the best she can. All right. I'm going to utilize, I thought Natalie was still going to be here for me. All right. We're going to try to make this work. We'll see. We should. If not, Abby will have a breakdown. When in doubt, use hands. We love walking by going, you did what? That's amazing. Come here, Hope. So we're always asking for hands from each other. We're always like, hey, come give me hands. So I always take her, push forward, so then any and all things are forward on her. One person's going to hold the zipper shut. The other person works it up. Yep, you're in. And then you're good. And then she's already in. Without hands, definitely wouldn't have. She squeezed in, but guess what? She gets it on, and somebody that's, she's like, I'm in it.
Breathe, but it works.
Exactly. Really cool. Do I have like a second? Okay. If they want sleeves, and your designers allow, the best way, I know I'm using a strapless, but if this had a strap to it, and you don't have any detachable sleeves, whatever, in the shop, or she fell in love with these sleeves all over, you're gonna put it on like a cape. So from here, then you're gonna tuck in, you're gonna make it look like a beautiful little strap on either side. And now we have sleeves. So you can do it to any gown. So yeah, the more, especially I love doing customizations, it's probably one of my favorite things to do. The more you are able to make it exact on her, those are again the only photos she has, the more security she has. Don't let her going away being like, yeah, well, it's that sleeve and that belt and that veil and that cape and all the things. Make it work, think outside of the box. If she wants a bodice of one ball gown and a skirt of another, take the skirt one, you're gonna put the bodice one all the way on. The skirt that we want, you're gonna tuck in the bodice of that and then utilize the skirt. She's gonna have 2 dresses on. She may have 3 because she wanted sleeves from another dress too. Glory, make it happen. Is that helpful? Is there any questions? No time for questions. Cool, no time. Yep, cool, perfect.